We did it.
Are we live?
I think so.
Is it working?
I think so. We are live. Not sure. I think this is episode 6 encounters. We've got a tight screen. We've got joined.
Oh, it's working.
It's working.
Oh God, it's
We're live.
Wow. 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 Also, yeah. Hi.
Hi.
Yeah,
Hello,
we can still just have a little chat.
Yeah.
See who wants to come join us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How can I share this in several groups though?
So if you go to my Facebook page, I've shared it publicly there. So you can share it over to the Nomad Soulmates group. Woo!
Absolutely. Let's see. Yeah, I'm super excited. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah. Super excited have you on camera with us.
Yeah.
Eileen she's actually living in Bali, but she's from Germany, and I met her a few years ago at a Nomad Soulmates event in Bansko. Yeah. Sorry, go. Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, super fun. As you said, I'm Aline. I'm one of the founders at Nomad Soulmates, which is a dating community for remote workers and digital nomads. And basically, I decided to live in Bali, and I decided to do the digital nomad life. Oh gosh, I think 5 years ago or so. Yeah, and ever since I'm loving it. Do all the things. I don't hear you guys anymore. Did you ask me something?
No, we didn't.
No.
Okay, fair enough. Okay.
I know that's
yeah. So that's me, and ever since I'm very excited. I mean, since I started Nomad Soulmates, I love everything that's around helping people to find partners, helping them to understand the dating environment for us a little better, and just help to make a solution for everybody. So yeah, that's who I am.
And so, how has your journey come along with your soulmate? Have you found your soulmate?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know, but maybe some of the viewers don't.
Yeah.
So tell us about your digital nomad dating journey.
So I was single at first as a backpacker, then returning into a digital nomad, but still traveling the world single for almost 3 years. And I mean, because of that, I can very much relate how it feels like to be a single and solo traveling and having a solo entrepreneur business and pretty much doing many things by myself. And therefore, yeah, I felt over the time quite lonely, and it wasn't until the X Festival. I don't know if you guys know that, but it's a community where digital nomads met, and I was just curious, how do they make relationships? How is it possible for digital nomads to have one day, sustainable living with a partner and maybe start a family? And so I got into this a bit deeper, but I just kept traveling, and I met my partner in a coffee shop, quite old style. We met at a bigger table where many people were working, and he's not a digital nomad, but we connected really, really well. And at that time, I just had very much fun to explore where this is going. So we met a couple more times, and it turned out that he was from the inside an entrepreneur himself. He wanted to quit his job. He was already on the journey to buy tents. His passion is camping, so he offers camping tours now on Airbnb. Actually, one of the worldwide best experiences that you can go on, which is super exciting. But yeah, it's just interesting that somehow, because I just was in my I feel like I was in the time where I was super aligned with myself and met a person who was just mirroring that. And that was amazing. And he's not a digital nomad. However, we are very much independent people now.
And do you live together now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
We're quarantining together. Just like you guys.
We're trying.
We're not together though.
We're
Not together.
Not together.
Not together.
Living.
Just living.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh.
Cool. I just wanted to also say for anyone watching so far that you are welcome to ask any questions. And yeah. And Eileen, did you share with the Nomad Soulmates over there?
Yeah, I'm going to do this right now. Hang on.
Because I want to get these questions rolling for Eileen.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Ask me anything. One moment. So what you guys are doing in your quarantine time? Is there anything that you're doing differently than before?
Is there anything different than before?
Yeah.
Everything. Absolutely everything. I mean, I am currently living with Adam in my 1-bedroom apartment. So
Yeah.
he sleeps on the couch and I sleep in my bed. We tried the whole bed sharing situation.
Yeah.
But it did not work.
No. Well, I wouldn't say it didn't work. I wouldn't say like I just felt a bit odd. Like to be honest, there was one night where I got into bed after she was asleep, and I have a bit of like a blocked nose, and I was breathing. I don't know. This is so weird, but like my nose was making this like sound every time I breathed, and I just didn't want to like wake her up and be like, "Can you stop with your like stupid breathing?" So I was like, right, that's it. I'm just gonna go sleep on the couch. It's kind of nice actually, like having your own space. I think.
Yeah.
I think we're both pretty independent. Sounds like you, and maybe not to the same. Sorry, yeah, we're pretty independent, and it's kind of nice. We stare at each other all day, so yeah, I kind of like having my own little bed. I think in the evenings.
A little lull.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to ask Eileen about your experience so far, like with when you met your partner, was it at like an event in a cafe, or did you just like randomly start talking?
No, absolutely random. So I was sitting at my laptop, just finished a meeting with my co-founder. He left and I was still finishing up a little bit. And so it's a big round table, so there were just a couple of people working as well, and he and his friends, they came together, joined the cafe, and sat right next to me. And I already saw him coming in. I was like, oh wow, this person looks pretty handsome. I was already nervous. Usually I'm a person who's always saying hi if someone's sitting right next to me, but at that point I was just not really able to. And so I kept staring into my screen, which is, yeah, a really bad habit, I guess, that digital nomads have in general, I guess. Anyways, that's a different topic. But yeah, so I kept staring my screen and just being super annoyed that I couldn't get over my comfort zone. And so he was actually asking at some point if I could help him, because the power plugs, is that how you say it? They were on my side. If I could help him plugging in his laptop, and it was like, yeah, sure. And then somehow we started a conversation, and we suddenly were into such a flow and had such an amazing conversations out of nowhere. Connected really well, and I felt a bit bad for his friend because he couldn't speak very much. He couldn't speak English so well. What I didn't mention, I think, before is my boyfriend is from Indonesia, and his friend is well from Indonesia, but he just wasn't able to speak English. So yeah, he left at some point, and we kept talking until the coffee shop closed. Actually,
Wow.
yeah, it was quite magical.
That's awesome. What
Yeah.
I think as well, one thing you said before at the start was you were like you spent a lot of time traveling, like single, finding
Yeah.
out who you are and becoming aligned to yourself. And I love how you've then said, and then that
Yeah.
worked out so well, and now I found this amazing partner. Because I feel like I'm in that stage right now of like traveling single, and part of me is like, I hope this is the right thing to do. Like, yeah, I'm working on myself, but another part of me is like, maybe you should try and find someone. But I think it's so great to have for you to say like, you know, it did work out well, and like it sounds like you're happy that you did that, and that your relationship is like way more fruitful because of it.
But
And I have, oh yeah, sorry, you go, Samantha.
but also just like I'm wondering because like you were more of a digital nomad before, and now you're kind of settled in Bali. Like I think that that's like really interesting. So like
Yeah,
what do you
I'm,
think of that?
I'm happy to share. So I was very much of a person who traveled actually nonstop, and also, or let's say on a monthly or 2 months basis. Um, Bali, even before I met my partner, Bali was the place where I was the longest. I think almost 6 months. And when I've just met him, I was about to, or I had this feelings, oh, should I leave? You know, I didn't decide that back then yet, but I was already kind of ready to move on. And when I met him, we had a couple of events here with Nomad Soulmates. But I also saw, well, this is a person I started enjoying just spending time with. And I don't know where this is going. Maybe it's something, maybe it's not. But let's just see where this is going. And I had fun I really wanted to explore that. So I kept staying longer in Bali, and we're together now. But I also started a home base here, so meaning I spend most of my time in Bali. And the biggest reason for that is community. Besides me and my partner living here, I do travel every now and then, but I really also missed the feeling of, yeah, having my own little friends around, like my friend circle around me, and um, having a place to call home. And somehow one thing led to another, that I started to call Bali more and more my home. And it was a bit scary because I had, even on purpose, this visas that you only can get for 2 months. And then for the very first time, I got a visa for a 6 months period, which expires if you leave the country. So it already felt like a little bit locked in. But I have to say, there's a big misconception, or at least I feel that way. Mm, the freedom piece with the commitment piece, where, as I believe in the digital nomad scene, there's a big negative label on commitments and relationships, and yeah, that they may narrow down your limits, or how to say, I guess you know what I mean.
Your
it, yeah, and so the 6 months visa and my new relationship, I just let it all come to me. I don't know, I didn't really think too much about it. Um, but I felt actually more free with being now here in a relationship and being in a familiar place here in Bali. I really, really enjoy having commitments that I decided to commit to, rather than, you know what I mean. So being in a relationship actually gave me back that freedom. I can feel deep. I can give more, and that is exactly what I wanted.
For sure. And I mean, I can completely relate to that with Bansko. I mean, this is definitely a place where I've just come back to more and more. And especially with quarantine,
Me
I'm
too. Yeah.
here. So there's no,
Absolutely. Yeah, Bansko is amazing. It's an underrated place for sure. I love Bansko so much, and the community there is great.
Yeah, it's
Really
incredible.
cool. Yeah.
Really hope we can open back up and get some more digital nomads in here to open up the dating pool.
Yeah, it's pretty bad for guys. Pretty terrible.
Oh,
So if you're a single girl, this guy's available.
Please.
but funny enough, though, most of our, or not most, but some, yeah, there are lots of success stories actually happen in Bansko or have some sort of story in Bansko. And I feel like this is a perfect place to meet people, to explore the mountains. And yeah, it's just, I don't know what Bansko does to people, but yeah, it's cool. I really like it. And so Sebastian, our co-founder, met Claudia. I think they have a base there. And Kim and Jürgen met at our retreat. They have a baby girl now. They also moved to Bansko, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it's a great place.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Congrats, Jürgen.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the same event that I met Eileen at, one of the members of co-working met a girl on the Nomad Soulmates retreat, and they're now living in Bansko with a baby.
Wow.
With a baby.
That is crazy. That's insane. I met him like 2 years ago. And we kind of chatted a little bit on and off on Facebook and stuff, but I wouldn't say like we know each other very well. But that's like, wow, that's big. That's big. That's impressive. Wait, there was something you said, Eileen. What was it? Yeah, that was it. About choosing commitments that you want to commit to.
Yeah.
Like something like I feel like I'm going through at the moment as well, in the like in terms of work, like I guess it's not really related to dating, but I think it can apply to lots of areas of your life. Yeah. In that when I worked in London, like a full-time job, like working like 8 a.m. till 6:30 every day, in this kind of like repetitive, salesy, intense job. And now I work longer than that every day, but because it's something that I've chosen and I like really enjoy, like I'm happy to do that. I think it's realizing that actually you're committing to something either way. Like if you're committing to single life and being single, then you've made that commitment to not commit to people. But at the same time, if you're like, no, this person's awesome, I can dive deeper here, we can learn more, then like you can get so much out of it as well. And I think it's so cool that you found that. How long have you been together?
3 years now.
Oh,
yeah.
Look, we've got our first question.
Yeah, do you think like everything has expired date? Life, how can we keep renewing it before expire? I think the question he's asking is because everybody, so this is a big challenge that many people face as nomads, I believe. I don't know how about you guys are facing that, or because of the travel lifestyle.
It's a little easier in Europe. Like you have, if you date a European, or you can, I don't know. I do know some people that have recently gotten married. For example, the co-founder of Nomad Soulmates that got married is Canadian and got married to Claudia, and now he's able to actually have residency here for a longer term. So, I mean, that is definitely one of the challenges is, can we both be in the same country for an extended period of time without tying the knot? That can be an issue. I mean, everything does have an expiry date. Like everything does. I mean, we're all gonna die. We're all gonna.
It was a pleasure. See you next episode.
But you can make the best out of the time you have.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether you're in a relationship with somebody in your same town, whether you're a digital nomad or not, like there's always the potential for that relationship to expire. So, I mean, I guess it's, I don't know.
Yeah, so the way I see it is not thinking too much about it, basically. Because, see, you cannot really predict the future if something hasn't already happened yet. It's, I feel like, a very much, yeah, spontaneous thing. Like you feel, you can, it's really impossible to predict the future and to target that now, even though it hasn't already started yet, is probably not the wisest idea to, maybe a different approach would help much better. Like if I meet someone, instead of already thinking about an expiry date, finding solutions, how can we make it work? It doesn't have to be a marriage right away, but for example, what works for me and Nalom, I have to leave the country every 2 months or 6 months if I want to. It is a commitment. I have to go out and in the country, but I don't really make a big deal out of it because it's something I happily commit to. For example, I know it's different with, there are individual cases and it's harder with some cultures, passports, etc. But I wouldn't worry too much about it just yet.
I'd say
Yeah.
I agree with both of you. I think like the phrase in my head is like you do it whilst you're doing it, and then if something gets to a point, like I feel like this every day. Like when I wake up and start working, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna keep working, and then in the afternoon, I'm like, I'm a bit tired now. I think I'm gonna have a, and then I have a nap, and I wake up from my nap, and I'm like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go back to working. Now maybe relationships is slightly different. Maybe I'm not sure. Yeah, okay, I'd say it's a bit different, but I think like there will be like road bumps and things you have to work through. But that being said, like if it does turn sour and if it does get like really bad, I would say that like cling on to this, like we have to do this forever, even if we're in a terrible situation, is probably actually bad for the both of you. And that some things do end, and I think bringing it back to Sam's point, like you're both gonna die eventually.
Yeah, but it's also an approach we try with the upcoming app in May, that we're going to hopefully solve, because we're in building that you're going to have a travel matcher, for example, so that you can actually see who's going to be in a time period where I will be, for example, in Bansko, and other people will be there as well, so that you can at least not miss out on opportunities and see who else is there, but also somehow have a guess who's going to stay there longer, who's going to stay there less longer, because we're all, even though we all share the same kind of lifestyle, we all design it differently. Many people love staying longer in a place, while others have their skates on and travel every 2 weeks. So I guess time speeds is as well where it's getting challenging, and where I think he has made a comment about expiring dates and things like that.
In terms of like renewing it before it expires, I think that for me that's like it's like a daily commitment to like show up and kind of commit to what you've said you're gonna do. And like if you find things are getting boring, then like I would say it's like your responsibility to try and mix it up, try new things, like experiment, get out there. Like as a couple or as yourself, maybe you need some alone time. Maybe you're spending a bit like too much time together and you've kind of lost that connection to yourself, like you were saying before, Eileen. And that actually like two people who are connected with themselves can make a much better pair than people who are like codependent on each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like this quarantine time, like paddling back to where you just said with, maybe you don't need a partner right now. Maybe it is really just about finding a little bit your alignment. And so, for example, when I traveled for 3 years, I was I was 2 years of this single life. I was actually not really into dating. I actually wasn't really interested in dating anyone because I just had a big breakup and it was hard for me to heal from that. So I guess traveling helped. But it was also for me, I felt better being on my own and to get myself sorted than adding another relationship, like adding a relationship on top of the things where I probably couldn't have been the happiest anyways. So, so I guess this quarantine time right now is also the perfect opportunity to test if you're really enjoying yourself by being just by yourself for a long time. And if you can do that, it's probably a really good sign that you when you get out of quarantine, that you will probably mirror back that person in your life whenever that happens. But um, that is at least what I believe in, and when I met my partner, looking back now, I can say that I was in a point in my life where I was just so excited about everything, about life. I got finally healed from that past relationship. And yeah, it took maybe 4 years, but it's really not up to us to predict the future when and where it happens, rather than working on just enjoying yourself.
I like that.
Yeah.
What were you kind of looked at me then whilst Irving was talking, and you were like, what was that about?
No, I don't. Wait, I don't. Did I? I don't know.
I think it was when you said.
Oh, that part. Yeah. Basically, yeah. I don't think I could do quarantine alone.
Yeah.
I know. I bet it's hard. I bet it's hard. And to be honest, I've done a Vipassana, which is probably even harder because then you cannot speak with anyone. We cannot do work. You cannot distract yourself. That's crazy hard. But it's worth it. Who hasn't done Vipassana yet? I can highly recommend it. But it's worth it. So maybe Savannah.
Have you found any from Vipassana, any like benefits? Like, what would you say the main takeaways for your dating life post Vipassana? I haven't done it.
Yeah.
And I sit there in 20 minutes each day, and I'm like, oh, this is nice. And I'm like, could I do this for another 4 hours, and then double that, and then and then do that again for the next day, and the next day, and the next day? I'm like, I'm not sure. I mean, it's like a different level, right?
Back then, I wasn't into meditating at all. Actually, I had no idea what it is. Actually, I had no idea at all.
Wow.
I was a backpacker, and because I thought it's a girls' thing. Back then, I thought, oh, only girls do it, and it's this. I don't know. I somehow talked it down, and it was not a topic for me. I thought, yeah, I don't know. It's a woo-woo thing. So I gave it a step. But then when I met someone on my travels who I traveled with for 2 weeks or so, and I started to respect this person a lot because I don't know, he was just a very happy person, and I was like, I want to be like you one day, because I felt in my breakup, I felt so bad. But he was just a people magnet and an opportunity magnet. It was crazy. So traveling with him for 2 weeks was really great life lesson. But he was also telling me about this Vipassana thing that I should definitely check out. And he knows a place in northern Thailand that is in the middle of the mountains in the nowhere. I should check it out if I need a break from travel. And so I did. I just threw myself into it. I had no idea what it is. I didn't even know that you cannot speak, that which freaked me out when I arrived at the spot. And because you can just come there. It's not like other Vipassanas where you have to sign up for it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I threw myself into the cold water and meditated for I think it was 7 days or 10, and learned meditating and learned to be in peace with my own thoughts, which is really hard. Um, um, what do you think?
Daily struggle.
And sorry,
I interrupted there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but I guess the biggest lesson that I had, or after a meditation round, I think that was my third day or so, fifth, where I started laughing in my room. I was just from the inside out so happy, and I had no freaking reason for it. And it sounds so absurd, and it was so weird. But for the first time in my travels, I finally felt like this is coming from like a pure happiness from inside that I haven't felt for a long time. And I don't know, it sounds weird, but it was like that. And I don't know how to transfer that into dating, but I guess it just helped me to become a happier person, and also probably helped me on the journey to understanding that it all starts with you, even your partner, and that you choose to be with one day. So yeah.
Wow.
Maybe this is Vipassana is father of self-quarantine.
just also
Yeah.
he's asking. Okay, so he meets many digital nomad dudes around the world who are single, and many of them are saying that there's a lot of racism in digital nomad dating. Is that really true? Does it really matter?
For myself, my experience, I haven't actually experienced much racism, to be honest. I don't know how you guys experienced anything like that, but actually for me it's the opposite.
Yeah.
Depending on the country.
Of course.
Yeah. I'm sure everybody has different experiences, and it's a very but for me, I felt that nomads are very, very open and world open to other cultures. I mean, who would we be if we weren't?
Yeah.
Yes, but also I think if you're trying to date locals,
maybe
that could be a bit different. So yeah, I think all nomads, I'd say, it's a bit of a generalization, but the vast majority, I'd say, are very open to different cultures, different people. If anything, they're more interested. People from cultures they're not that familiar with.
Yeah.
That's kind of one of the reasons why we do this, right?
I want to meet all people.
All of them.
All of them in the world.
Never stop. Okay, quarantine. Here we go. So,
what? Only 5?
all right, don't rub it in.
You'll be here soon.
You'll be here soon. You won't be laughing then, or maybe you will. Maybe you will. One thing I've definitely noticed is, so I lived in Colombia for 6 months, and I tried to date the Colombian girls, go out to clubs and stuff. And I found it harder to meet Colombian girls there, especially as like, I don't know if you can tell, I'm like really pasty white. And most people in Colombia aren't this white. So I do stand out. And I found that there was a bit of tension in like, oh, you're dating a gringo, or you're like talking, gringo is their word for like, I guess like foreign. But then I lived in Poland for 6 weeks. And everyone was like, oh my God, you're English? Like, oh, whoa, like this is so cool. So I definitely find like per country, it can depend. And sometimes it can be a bit negative, but you can still get through it. And otherwise it's like, they're like bowing down at your feet. Like, and I'm like, I don't know, I was just born in England. Like, I'm not special, but I'm like, no. So
it's a different experience.
Definitely not the case in Bulgaria for English people at the moment.
No, definitely not.
Don't say you're English.
Wouldn't say that.
Not picking up any Bulgarian chicks that way.
Nope. Zero.
Why is that?
So I'd say So Bansko, if you don't know Bulgaria, one of the British newspapers described it as the Magaluf of ski resorts. So Magaluf is like this crazy party town, like Ibiza, where lots of British tourists go and just get absolutely wasted, take loads of drugs. And Bansko is supposedly like that, but also you snowboard as well. So a lot of British people come here and just get hammered and like tear up the city, basically, which I can understand why they would enjoy that. I can relate to my brethren.
Yep.
But but obviously the locals don't really enjoy it that much. And apparently also there was a rumor going around that a British family actually brought coronavirus to Bansko, and that's the reason why Bansko was shut down. So
Okay.
It was a lie.
Apparently that was a lie, though.
So.
Yeah. So
wow.
Idea.
I have an passport, so it's okay. I can pretend I'm Irish.
I've noticed a lot of negativity though, because as you can hear, I sound American. I'm not American. And I notice that sometimes when I meet people, digital nomads even, they go, American. And I'm like, I'm Canadian. They're like, oh my God, I love you so much. Canadians are like the best. So, I mean,
yeah, I believe it's a culture thing, and it's also wherever you go in different countries, you have different dating patterns, different reactions, which also makes it interesting. But yeah, I definitely can relate.
One thing I actually found a bit sad is, so when traveling, I love when I meet people to be like, where are you from? Like, what languages do you speak? Like, how do you say like hello in your native language? Like, I love that about traveling so much. And I found that I lived in the UK for about a year because I had a full-time job and I was learning data science and other things like that. But I found that if I would then meet people who have an accent and who are obviously like non-native English speakers, if I would ask them, they would get a bit defensive about it. And I think that potentially that's like due to the rise of, I don't know, like nationalism and Brexit and things like that. But that's one of the things I love so much about traveling and meeting people, is that everyone is so open and like, there's this like joy, I think, of different cultures and being like, oh, in Germany we do this. It's like, no way, it's so cool. It's not like, there's so much like positivity and like joy around it. And I feel that like at home, I definitely miss that a bit.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So what other challenges are you guys facing as traveling as a nomad, dating as a nomad? I think that stands out for you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm almost not feeling like a digital nomad at the moment because.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in the like. I did about 7 months of travel between last time I was in Bansko and when I came back at the beginning of December. And I think one of my biggest challenges, especially because of where I was just meeting people. Because like I lived in Barcelona, and living in a huge city is just so difficult to meet your people. It takes such a long time. And by the time I finally like met somebody that I liked, that we connected, I was like, oh, well, I'm going to Mexico next week. So like, see ya, like, have a good one. So like, it kind of comes back to the expiry date. Because if you are traveling too fast, it's pretty hard to like meet somebody and actually get into some kind of relationship. And then, and when I was in Mexico, I also met someone that I got on with really well. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm going to Bulgaria, see ya. And it's just like, it's really difficult, I think, when you're moving too fast to really be in any kind of relationship, friendship, and otherwise. So it can get lonely. And so that's why it's really cool that your app's coming out, because then, you know, in the future when we are all able to get free and freaky, again, we'll be able to meet nomads around the world. But I think that's part of why I just really like Bansko, because people just come to me, like super fucking cool people from all around the world are just like, I'm just gonna like come in your town and like do cool shit with you. And yeah, like
yeah, that's true. I had the same experience in Koh Lanta, where it's just a small island as well, and there's I think one co-working space and a bunch of nomads, and it's so easy to get connected to everyone within a couple of days only, because this is where your like-minded people are just right there. They're all working from the same space, the same coffee shop. So it was very easy to just all hop on a WhatsApp group chat and then have lunch, dinners, and everything, activities together. So that was definitely easier than back in Germany, for example, or like you said, in Mexico. So I guess Bansko is just as well another small hub where like-minded people can meet and do really cool activities together.
Yeah, and you also just like, you don't have as many distractions, because like, there's so much choice in cities. It's like I could go to 40 different events tonight that I'm interested in, all of them. What makes yours special? And it's here, it's just like, well, we have one bar.
You want to come or sit on your own?
Yeah, it makes things easier.
So yeah, just the limited choice and the limited choice of activities is it definitely helps. And also just, we're all kind of here to like either go snowboarding or skiing in the winter. So you're meeting like-minded people, not just because they work online, but also because they love winter sports, because they also love the mountains, because they,
Yeah, so you already connect on so many levels, which makes the connection part so much easier when you actually meet. Yeah.
One challenge I found as like a single guy is that I feel like more guys travel solo. There's like, especially in Bansko, there's just so many more guy digital nomads than girls. And then the girls who do come along often are with a guy. They're often in a pair. So like, not many girls come along, and then the ones that do are already like partnered up. And then if they're not, there's just like such a small pool. And then because there's so many guys, if she comes along and she's cool and she's attractive, they're all like, yes, a girl, finally. And then like, it's like a fight. It feels like a fight to the death with your like guy friends. You're like, no. And then I find that I'm so just in work mode all the time because there's no girls to distract me, that like, if a girl does come along and I like her, I'm just like, no, and I just can't, I can't be cool. I just have lost all my like flirting ability. And I'm like, hello, I'm Ada. And they're like, who is this guy? And I'm like, God damn it. Like, for the 3 weeks to wait for the next one to come along. Like, it's just like.
So, for all the soulmates ladies listening, Bansko is the spot.
It's the spot. I'll sort you out. Maybe. Let's see. I'll probably meet you and be like, hello.
Your name is Adam?
By now you know Adam is a creep.
That's really good.
But I think in general, like I agree. It seems like, well, yeah, just, I don't know, women, if you're listening,
yes,
get out there in general.
Break up with your partners. No, don't do that.
No, but I feel like there's so few women that are doing this, that are traveling around, that are working, that feel comfortable to do this. It's more and more every day, and there's like a lot of really powerful groups that are encouraging women to do this. But I feel like just a lot of them are scared to do it alone, and you shouldn't be. It's awesome, and you'll meet people. And even if you're in quarantine, like you got buds. So you're never alone. There's this community worldwide is just, it's super nice.
And it's sorry, go on, Ivy. Go on.
No, you go.
I was gonna say I think as a guy as well, like meeting a girl who's a solo traveler is like, it's to me at least like really attractive. It's like a girl who like goes to the gym. Like I have some sisters and they're a bit like, oh, I don't know, should I be going to the gym or this and that? And I'm like, it's so cool like, especially when I'm to see a girl like doing some squats or like going on solo travel and really just like owning her, not like, but just like owning the shit and being like, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna like, you know, just taking control of her life and going and like living life to the fullest and like showing that she is, you know, passionate about certain things and doing her own projects and like living her truth. Like to me, that's like such a turn on. And I think, I don't know, I think from talking to my sisters, it seems like they're a bit nervous about it. But I would say that like if you do make that jump, like I at least will think it's super cool.
That's awesome. And I think I'm on the same board with you. I think anybody, boys, guys, girls, everyone doing that, you can see it because I feel like they're also carrying themselves a lot different than being in the shy box. And yeah, definitely it's worth it to travel and to see the world on your own.
100%.
Yeah.
Got carried away.
So I'm curious if there's any more questions as well from you guys, or if there's people watching.
No one, not yet.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, if you have any questions, if you are watching, please post them in the comments. We would love to.
Yeah.
We'd love to get some like audience interaction.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Absolutely.
This is our first Facebook Live, so we apologize in advance. It's but I think it's cool. Like this, it's dope.
Yeah, it worked out pretty well, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think so too. And yeah, share as well, like how you guys are feeling about the whole Corona self-quarantine. What are you guys up to? How do you spend time with yourself right now? Actually, I find that it, for me at least, it helped me, I mean, to connect much better with my partner because he was going out camping and obviously cannot do that anymore on his camping trips. Me going to cafes or co-working spaces, so we actually don't see each other, I mean, too often during the day. So now being 24/7 together is also a big learning curve for us that is actually really enjoyable. Like we're cooking for each other, we're doing, I don't know, sport together. What do you guys do while you're in quarantine? You can do so much, as well as joining any online events or online conferences. There's a lot you can do during quarantine as well. I'm just saying that because some people in our Facebook group, Nomad Soulmates, they were like, "Oh, are we all gonna end up single for the year? You know, what if this is taking longer than just a couple of weeks or months? What am I gonna do?" So, yeah,
It's a scary world we're living in. Like we don't know what's gonna happen. It's nuts. Like, man, like, am I really not gonna go on a date for a year and a half? That's a scary thought. And you know, I think, but I don't know, like that's basically it. That's the entire thought.
Okay.
No. But like
that's all that's going through Sam's head, like every day, like a year and a half of this. No more dates.
Really?
Just stuck with this guy.
But yeah, like I actually saw on the group today that you either did or you were going to be hosting some speed dating online.
Ooh.
Yeah, absolutely. Under 7, we do some speed dating. Yeah, if you guys want to join, absolutely.
100,000% do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can grab the link if you want to, or send it later. Yes. But yeah, we're partnering with a speed dating company. They're just started as well there, and it's phenomenal because it gives us the ability to connect during quarantine still to still go on dates, to still meet people. Actually, I think it's the opportunity, because we're all going through the same thing, to have a reason to go on dates and meet people and explore online speed dating. It's so fun, and I haven't done one yet, but we will be doing the first for an online conference. Actually, two for an online conference, and then on the 7th we do finally our first Nomad Soulmates open digital nomad online speed dating that everybody can join. Yeah, it's super exciting, and I think this is just another way to get everyone connected.
Well, and I actually have been connecting so much more with people that don't normally connect with. Like, I started talking again to like one of my like high school friends because of the show that we're doing. And normally I'm just like in my little Bansko world. Like, I still probably talk to Bansko people more than any other people in the world, but like it's forcing me to connect with, not forcing, encouraging me to connect with a lot of people I normally wouldn't, and putting in a lot more FaceTime.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. It's like, oh, I'm making better connections from my living room.
Yeah.
But it's super cool, and I really like the idea of, you know, meeting the love of my life in this speed dating event that you're getting to know them every day, 5 hours a day on the phone for the next 8 months, and then getting married.
We've never touched each other before.
Yeah. We'll have an awesome marriage. And we'll meet in person and be like, anyway.
Yeah, well, but it can happen. It absolutely can. I mean, it happened to Sebastian and Claudia. They met for our speed dating tour before. So
yeah,
and then in person in Bansko. But yeah.
I think that is a good point though about like having this. The quarantine is giving us space, and like usually you're too busy to connect with people or phone people, but now there's kind of no excuse. You're like it almost. You're like, I can't just look at the same people I've been around for the last 24 hours anymore. It's definitely more you than it is me. Like, I don't know why you're flipping me off.
Yeah,
like,
true.
Definitely you. I can't look at you anymore. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll go sleep on the couch again. Yeah, it's so nice. I guess that's one of the reasons why we did this show, is because like all we do is just like sit across from each other, like moodily staring at our screens in thought, and now it gives us the opportunity to like talk and express ourselves, but really think as well about what you want to do.
Yeah.
Like, I think it is a big gift, this, and I'm really interested about the speed dating.
Yeah,
because I've never done a speed dating event.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've never done obviously a speed dating online.
Yeah, it's fun. It's super fun.
Yeah.
I've hosted them. I don't know if I can actually post here. No, I think I can't. Can I? I think I can type here something. I can put the link and you can check it out later. But yeah, so speed datings in general are very interesting. Many people are going into it with a little bit of a nervous feeling. However, once it starts, it's so exciting. Because obviously it's fast. It's a fast game. 3 minutes, then you start the next round, which is fun. And then you have later on the time again to chat more. But it's just a great way to connect with many people in a actually very natural environment. So yeah.
You know, I feel that like often when I go on dates in real life / just meet people in real life, I think my first impressions aren't often that good. I think I've kind of learned to accept that now. Like my like default is like be brash and abrasive and then just kind of like deal with the aftermath later. So I'm interested to see how that works speed dating, because I always find the first section of my dates are a bit like, ooh, what's going on? And then she's like, oh, I actually like this, and I'm like, yeah. And then she's like, oh, okay, and then we settle in, and then it gets better. So we've only got through. It might just be that it's just like a terrible succession of like bad first impressions for like an hour or so, and everyone will be like, "Who is that
guy?" Does anyone want to follow up?
Anyone want to?
Anyone?
I hear he hosts a show about relationships.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. What about you? How do you find your dates go?
How do my dates go?
Yeah. Like, do you have an issue at the start? Do you warm up?
No, they're good.
They're solid.
Yeah.
Solid.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. I guess. Okay, cool. I was expecting more, but okay.
Well,
sweet.
Yeah, I think we're getting close to an hour here, and definitely need to work.
Yeah.
Wow, that went quick.
So yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for being our first ever.
Thank you so much.
Facebook Live lady.
Yay.
Yeah.
You're absolutely welcome. I say.
Oh,
I was like, that would be so bad if you froze right at the end and we didn't get to say bye.
You froze a little bit.
But yeah,
yeah, you guys freezing too.
Yeah. Okay. Well then let's make this quick. Thank you.
If you are a digital nomad, then please join Nomad Soulmates, because it's like the best Facebook group if you're a digital nomad and want to do some dating. I know we brought up some issues here. If you're already in the group, then good job. I'm proud of you.
You did it.
You did it.
Thank you, guys.
We're recording like episodes of this. We haven't decided on a proper schedule, but maybe like 5 episodes a week, at least whilst we're in quarantine, all about relationships. If you enjoyed this, we would love if you followed along. We have a private Facebook group. We're posting on YouTube. We'll start posting on podcast platforms soon. Any comments, queries, please let us know, because we're looking to experiment with this and see how far we can take it.
Yeah. Everything you said.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So much again, I mean.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye.